And God said, "Let the water teem with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky." So God created the great creatures of the sea, and every living thing with which the water teems, and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind." And it was so. Today we're going to talk about an animal called the horse. This seems like a boring animal because we see horses all the time, and horses have been domesticated for a long time, which just means they're used to living with humans. But we're actually going to talk about the wild horse. Horses are mammals and belong to a smaller group called Equidae, which includes similar animals like zebras and donkeys. The wild horse is actually an endangered species because there aren't very many of them left in the wild, because most of them have been captured and domesticated, and the land they need for grazing, well, that's being turned into ranches for other cattle. Wild horses were originally found all over the earth, but over time, the wild population decreased as the domesticated population increased, and now there are only small pockets of wild horses left. In the United States, most of the wild horses are found in the western states, where there is open land for the horses to roam and graze. Horses are social animals. They like to live in groups, and these groups are called harems. These groups are made up of one male horse, or called a stallion, and several female horses, which are called mares, and their children, called foals. Once the male foals are 1 to 2 years old, they leave their current harem and try to form their own. All the horses in an area, which would be multiple harems, is called a herd. Horses are large animals. The typical adult horse can weigh between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds, which is almost the weight of a small car. Horses come in multiple colors, but just because horses are different colors doesn't mean they're different species. They're just a different color. The color of their coat is determined from the parent horses, kind of like the hair color of different people. The many different colorings of horses have been given different names. Here are just a few of the different names of the colors: pinto, chestnut, gray, bay, buckskin, paint, cream. Some horses have special markings on their legs. Seeing these stripes, they make it really clear that horses and zebras, well, they're closely related. In areas where it can get really cold, horses grow a new coat in the winter to help it keep warm. The winter coat is thicker and makes the horse look kind of fuzzy and fluffy. This thicker coat is what allows the horse to live outside even when it gets really cold. When it gets warmer in the spring, the horse will shed this winter coat, getting ready for the warm summer days. There are two special parts of the coat that stand out. The long hair on the back of the horse's neck is called the mane. The mane hair is thicker than the rest of the coat. The mane helps keep the neck warm, and it acts like an umbrella when it's raining to keep the neck dry, and it helps keep insects away from the skin by the neck. The mane hair can continue to grow longer and longer, just like the hair on our heads. For wild horses, though, being outside all the time causes the hair to break and fall out, so it never really gets too long. The tail of the horse also has some long hair, but the tail is much more than just some hair. The tail is an important part of how the horse communicates, helps him with balance, and is used to help keep insects away. When the horse is happy, the tail will be still and hanging straight down. But when the horse is upset, it will be swinging its tail up and down and side to side. So watch out if you see a horse swinging its tail. The legs of the horse are extremely powerful, and they have to be to hold up an animal that weighs as much as horses do. These strong legs allow the horse to run 30 to 50 miles an hour, which is how fast a car drives. But horses also use their legs for self-defense. The kick of a horse is strong enough to break a lot of things and would really hurt another horse, well, and person, if it were to be kicked. So never walk behind a horse. So we talked earlier about how much a horse weighs, which was a lot. Well, it takes a lot of food to keep up that size. They need about 20 pounds of food each day. So a horse will spend 15 to 20 hours a day just eating. And remember, there's only 24 hours in a day, so they are spending most of their life just eating. And they are herbivores, and so they graze on grass and small plants they can find on the ground. Horses don't have much to be afraid of, as there's not too many animals that are big enough to actually attack a horse. But sometimes, if they live in an area where there are wolves or mountain lions, those are the few animals that actually can take down a horse. With the few hours of the day that is left that the horse isn't eating, they have to spend some time resting. Horses have a special ability to nap while they're standing up. Can you imagine taking a nap while standing up? Horses can do it, and they don't even fall over. But for a deep sleep, a horse will find a spot on the ground to lay down. Horses are pretty amazing creatures. They are massive with very strong legs. They're so strong that we even use them to say how strong a car engine is. Like, for example, a car engine that's 350 horsepower. These strong creatures can come in many different colors with special hair around its neck and tail that is used to protect the animal. There are not very many wild horses left in the world, so we have to protect the ones that are left. They spend most of their lives eating and can sleep standing up. So the next time you see a horse, you will now know a little more about it.